Assalamualaikum everyone, welcome back to another episode of Sabki Rai. Today's episode is going to be less of a discussion and more of an interview because the topic we're discussing today is what are the causes and consequences, mostly consequences, negative or positive, of being a social media celebrity. And since we have you, who's already a social media celebrity, I'm going to be giving you a couple of points on the damaging effects of social media fame, and you can agree or disagree and let me know what you think.
Yep.
Okay? Social media fame basically means you became famous on the internet. You didn't win any matches, you didn't do any performances, you just became you went viral on social media once and now you're a celeb. Social media fame is easier than unconventional fame, right?
Yeah, definitely.
You didn't basically you didn't do anything as opposed to a cricketer or a performer.
ऐसा movie stars होते हैं कि वो 2-2 साल की एक फिल्म बनाते हैं उसके बाद फिर जाकर उनको कुछ होता है.
You maybe posted a meme or you had one small performance and all of a sudden now you're famous. And because it was so easy for you to become famous, you don't really
you can't really take it in.
You can't really take it in. You can't handle it.
ये हुआ क्या और कैसे हुआ और एकदम से हो जाता है.
Yeah, all of a sudden you're famous overnight, and a lot of people like handling fame is not an easy thing to do. So now you're famous overnight, you don't know how to handle it, it's going crazy, you want to be yourself, but you can't be yourself, you might do something that's wrong. All of a sudden the love turns to hate, you can't handle it, it becomes emotionally damaging, psychologically damaging. Other than that, because all of a sudden you became super famous super easily without having to do much, all of a sudden your mind is now telling you that you don't have to do anything to achieve something or to get rewards. All of a sudden your mind is now saying, hey, I'm not going to do much, but I expect more rewards.
Yeah.
Right? So that's one of the, and obviously that's damaging personality too. A lot of people say that's the biggest problem of millennials these days. What do you think about it?
I think you're definitely right. Millennials generally across the board सबको ये मसला है कि यार we want more in life, ज़्यादा fulfilling life.
Yeah, that's exactly what.
But when you talk about social media per se, I think क्योंकि वो जो you've rightly pointed out कि आपके पास even मुझे याद है जब हम लोग content बनाते थे तो वो 2-3 घंटे में वो conceptualize से होके shoot होके निकल जाता था और within overnight आपको जी 3-4 million hits मिल रही हैं. People are recognizing you on the street.
Yeah.
Everybody is thinking, you've done something really amazing. Although आपको feel नहीं होता था. आपको होता यार मैं तो दोस्तों के साथ इकट्ठा हुआ था.
Yeah.
मैंने random कुछ करके निकाल दिया और वो famous हो गया.
Yeah.
And for the longest time, it's very difficult for you to deal with that. And उसके जो दो major problems मुझे नजर आते हैं वो ये आते हैं कि एक तो आपको समझ नहीं आती कि उसके साथ react कैसा करना, उसको आगे किस तरह लेके जाना है. और दूसरा उसको आप बहुत इजी होता है आपका लाइक लोग हमेशा ये देखते हैं कि बंदा पागल हो गया उसको समझ नहीं आ रही इस तरह करने के लिए बट फॉर एन इंडिविजुअल इट्स सच अ वियर्ड फीलिंग because it's not easy for anyone. For example, for Momina Mustahsan or for let's say Qandil Baloch जिसको overnight वो एक दिन सोई है अगले दिन सुबह उठी है और वो फट रही है हर जगह पर और बड़े-बड़े आर्टिकल्स आ रहे हैं और पूरी जिंदगी आप बैठे होते हैं और आपके ख्वाब होते हैं कि यार मैं कभी CNN पे आऊं या मैं कभी BBC पे आऊं और पूरी across the board आपके बारे में आर्टिकल्स आ रहे हैं.
Exactly.
So it gets very very difficult for a social media star to deal with that fame, I guess, जो कि to be very honest पूरी दुनिया में लेकिन पाकिस्तान में particularly we're not doing a lot of work in terms of personality management and celebrity management.
Yeah. So it kind of leads to basically just a lot of it damages the personality more than it.
Definitely. We're not able to create like long-term celebrities. हम इसी वजह से create नहीं कर पा रहे हैं.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times internationally what happens is कि social media celebrities generally transform into mainstream celebrities.
बिल्कुल.
And we haven't been able to see that in Pakistan as yet.
And I think it's the other way around. Momina Mustahsan came on TV first. She came on Coke Studio where she got her fame, but now all of a sudden she's transferred into social media.
Yeah.
And I think that's where it's getting more difficult because you constantly see her posting about her engagement and how she didn't want it to be seen, and then the breakup of her engagement and everything. And I think it's really like it's getting to her. Like I'm sure it is. The person gets tired. But
I think one of the things that happens on social media is you have your entire fame is quantifiable. जो आपके जब आप कहते हैं ना यार आप अगर क्रिकेटर हो तो आपको पता है आपके बहुत ज़्यादा फैंस हैं, but it's not really, you don't exactly know what the number is.
Yeah.
And अगर आप बाहर जाओगे या अगर आप उनसे मिलोगे, then you can find out, a lot of people are interested in what I have to say, but on social media it's all about numbers and it's all about likes and engagement. And that starts getting into you.
I'm sure.
And it is in fact very addictive as well because I remember there was a time when when we would create content every week and 2 लाख 2.5 लाख views आना बहुत मजाक होता था. And then suddenly वो 2 से 2.5 से वो 1.50 हो गया और वो 1 लाख हो गया और हम लोग इतनी मैसिव डिप्रेशन में जाना शुरू हो गया. मुझे पर्टिकुलरली मुझे होता था कि मुझे समझ नहीं आ रही थी मेरी जिंदगी में क्या हो रहा है. Just felt depressing, just felt sad. And there weren't a lot of people who would understand that feeling. Like वो ये कहते थे यार तुम कैसी बात कर रहे हो?
Happens to someone, वो if किसी को नहीं हुआ उनको नहीं समझ आती.
उनको नहीं समझ. वो कहते हैं यार मैं अगर वीडियो बनाता हूँ उस पे 1000 व्यूज आते हैं, तुम्हारी वीडियो पे 1 लाख आ रहे हैं, तुम कैसे डिप्रेस हो सकते हो? You're being ungrateful. But वही वाली बात है कि it's a psychology on its own.
All of a sudden now people are looking at you. You want people to know what you're doing. All of a sudden it's all about you. For example, we'll take you for example, okay? Right. You started getting a lot of followers. People want to listen to what you're saying. People want to see what you're doing. Did it lead to some sort of narcissism that didn't you feel like all of a sudden now you're the shit? Now researchers also say that if you're having a normal conversation between two people, it's more like a 50-50 exchange. You will listen 50% and you will talk 50%. But on social media, it's 80% of you talking and 20% of you listening. So that also leads to a negative impact on your personality, right?
Yeah, definitely. एक तो सबसे बड़ा मेरे केस में ये इशू होता था कि वो आपको पता नहीं लगता व्हाट्स द स्वीट स्पॉट. आप बात करते हैं अपने बारे में बात करते हैं, फिर लोग आके आपको बोलना शुरू होते हैं और व्हाई यू टॉकिंग अबाउट योरसेल्फ ऑल द टाइम. फिर आपको लगता है आप परेशान होने शुरू होते हो, आप कहते हैं मे बी आई शुड टॉक अबाउट अदर थिंग्स, बट लेट्स बी वेरी रियल. आई एम जस्ट स्पेशली व्हेन आई स्टार्टेड आई वाज अ 20-year-old kid. I didn't have a lot of opinions about different things. And when people want me to talk about XYZ, I will not have the right thing to say. So it is definitely very easy for me to talk about things that I'm comfortable with.
And also that leads to a lot of pressure, right? Which brings us to our third consequence of being social media famous. All of a sudden now, if you're a girl who is now doing yoga poses and all of a sudden you're an Instagram celebrity, people want to see like ass to the grass, balls to the wall. All of a sudden you have this thing that you need to do. Okay, but now this is what you're known for, and all of a sudden there's this pressure on you to do exactly what you became famous for.
Exactly. So for example, when I used to create content for hope-related Pakistani content, I for the life of me could not do anything else. मैं अगर करता था कुछ और टेढ़ा मेढ़ा, like I'm a kid. I want to talk about random things like any other internet user. I couldn't.
And it's the same did, all of a sudden the love turned into hate, and now you're getting hate comments and everything.
वो आपको कहेंगे कि यार नहीं, you have to be, अगर आप आपने एक दफा बात कर दी तो आपने हर दफा अच्छी बात करनी है. आप contradictory नहीं हो सकते, आप hypocritical नहीं हो सकते, and that's the same for everyone. Like अगर आप अभी मोमिना, who's most recently on social media, वो कुछ भी बात बोलती है तो उसके ऊपर इसका एक अल्टरनेटिव उन्होंने निकाला होता है कि आपने वो जो ट्वीट की थी उसका आपने ये इसका
A bigger example of that would be the chai wala, who was forever known as the chai wala. He would do anything but he would still be the chai wala.
Because आपके दिमाग में affinity ऐसी बन गई है कि अब आप उससे आगे पीछे जा ही नहीं सकते.
अब वो बेचारा whatever he did, like typecasting in other industries, for example, is known to be a bad thing, but you can always switch it up. You can take a role. Right. But if you're just famous for you as the person that you started off with, then you're stuck with it, and that leads to a lot of pressure. Kandil Baloch is another example. She was this person who had to do scandalous things and had to keep on getting scandalous, more and more scandalous, more and more scandalous.
If she had stopped being scandalous and gone into anything mainstream, people would have lost interest.
People would have lost interest, and that led to her. That led to her death, which was really sad. So I mean, but I'm sure that there are some positive aspects of social media fame as well.
I mean, obviously it's a new industry. It's something जो कि पीछे आपके television है, radio है, social media is again the newest form of engagement, and that's something जो कि अभी, to be very honest, everybody is discovering. We don't know कि how it's going to evolve, how it's going to play out. It has brought us really amazing gems, like again Patari ka recently Thabir series where we found people who would not have been able to make their mark on conventional media, because conventional media is very bureaucratic. It's very red tape. उसमें social media के पास लोगों के पास एक opportunity आई है where they can actually showcase their talent very easily, very quickly. It's eventually going to boil down to how an average social media user sort of responds to content online.
I feel like it's time that people start taking social media very seriously, because it is the biggest thing since the Industrial Revolution. Definitely. It's changed the climate of this
Definitely.
world.
And it's, a lot of people take it as television is television and social media is a complementary thing. No, it's social media is now the future of how we could sort of interact with content and interact with everything else, be it dramas, be it music, be it any form of art. वो अब social, even news is big on social media now. So we have to start taking it seriously. We have to start taking it in a way where we're more mature in the way that.
Inshallah. Alright guys, that was it for this episode of Sabki Rai. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you give it a thumbs up. Make sure you check our Twitter, our Instagram, leave your comments there. Let us know how you feel. Our Facebook page is also available.
And make sure that you leave a comment and tell us about what you think is social media fame. क्या होती है, कैसी होती है, किस तरह आपको
what are its
consequences करती है on #SabkiRai.
See you guys next time.
It's Valentine's Day, and should we be celebrating it or not? The first thing that I want to talk about. Valentine's Day जो हम लोग हमेशा बात करते हैं कि हमारे culture का part है. Is it a part of our culture or is it not?
It's not a part. Well, love is a part of our culture, but Valentine's Day isn't a part of our culture. It's a very European